What they do, Scales of Balance community. It's your boy, God in the Flesh, Anubis. And we here again for another self-realization session. This is actually part 2 of Wills. This is Wills part 2, which is actually a continuation of my last self-realization session, which you can find on YouTube right now on youtube.com/Scales of Balance. And every Wednesday I actually hold self-realization classes, so you can tune in every Wednesday. I'm up in Atlanta. As you can see, I'm always in nature. Gotta stay with the spirit. You feel me? But basically, last time we discussed wills part 1, we was talking about your cellular version of your will, how your will affects your everyday life and manifestation, to protect your will, stuff of that nature. But today we're gonna go deeper to that topic, and this is gonna be wills part 2, and hopefully I can touch base or touch anybody's mind. Okay, so let's start. It says okay, I know you heard the saying, where there is a will, there is a way. But most people will say, like, okay, I got the will, but it's actually hard for me to find a way. Which is like very funny, but I wouldn't laugh at somebody with a lack of knowledge. But instead of doing that, we need to open our brothers and sisters' mind to what they're ignorant of, because I'm still ignorant of a lot of stuff. But yeah, it says where there's a will, there is a way. And some people feel like they got the will, like they feel like they got the energy, they could take on anything, but they just don't know how to go the right way about it. You feel me? So like I was saying, most people don't know if they're conducting their will in the right way, then it will automatically help them find their way. Said your will helps create manifestations, whether good or bad. By knowing where there is a will, there is a way. You know, if you truly want to do something, you'll find a way to do it in spite of obstacles. There is no will without obstacles. Your wills create your vision and is your road to success, because it's designed to transport you through your journey. You can empower your will by activating your Merkaba. Your Merkaba is considered the throne of God, which can even help you travel dimensions. And basically what I'm saying, like, your aura, is an aura around you. You know, people got different colors, you know, to the spiritual level or spiritual mindset they on. So basically what I'm saying is your Merkaba is like a protection that goes around you and helps you travel through life. You can even use it to travel dimensions and stuff like that, but we'll get into that later. But that's actually a part of your will. So, you know, if you build your will up to a point where you form this powerful Mercury around you, where you can move through life, and basically I'm saying your will show you your way, because it's your transportation, you know. So I was saying say about the transportation or whatever. You know, if you're a car, you in the car and you're controlling your will or whatever. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're controlling the wheel, so wherever you want to go, you gonna GPS it, and then you gonna travel there. You feel me? You control your will, and you GPS your way with your will. You're in the driver's seat. Your will just transports you there. So by knowing there's a will, there's a way, is a true fact. You know, if you feel like, oh, you can't find a way, you might not be conducting your will right. You might be thinking too much of ahead. Like, basically saying, you probably thinking like, oh, I can't do nothing unless I know which way I'm going with it, which is true to an extent. But if you start doing, it starts to create your path, and you become smarter while you're doing what you're doing. You learn from your mistakes, and you travel and pick up knowledge, and you drop it off to other people. But yeah, say By knowing your will, there is a will to your way. I'm saying like there are no limits in the universe. The limit is you. What you think is what you become. So if you feel like, oh, I can't play football because I'm too slow. You thought that, you created that, your cells in your body reacts to everything that you say. So you created your reality. You created a spiritual paralyzation to yourself by telling yourself what you can't do instead of telling yourself what you can do. Okay, now back to the subject. Okay, last lesson I brought up something about the deceased person's will coincides with your spiritual and cellular will. Okay, now first question is, why do a deceased person have a will? The answer is because they still living spiritually, and your will is just a physical aspect of that person wishes being carried out, since he can't physically do them. So the paper keeps you living, because you know, like the government has like paper bodies of you. You die, they still get paid off you. Like soon as you're born, they got a social security and a birth certificate. But what you don't notice is actually like a check for them. Like it's like they own you. So it's like you're already a slave to a government when you come out or whatever. You feel me? You're just like a human, a living paper. You feel me? Since they can't have the physical version, they're gonna use a medium, a paper. Your energy is on the other side of it. That's the point of a deceased person's will. Is like nobody could carry it out, so the paper holds the energy of what that person trying to get across or whatever. So okay. Say on the will, it states to make your intentions very clear, so they can get carried out in a proper fashion. Basically, like nothing can like manifest, or at least manifest correctly and as perfect or clear as possible, unless your intention is very clear, unless your mind is clear for what you want. You can't like say, oh I want to go play basketball, but your mind like 40 other different thoughts. You know, you have to really clear your mind and focus and have a clear view with your third eye and stuff, and move through life. So basically your intentions have to be very clear for you to see what you want, and you have to have faith and believe in yourself, because if you don't, when your manifestation don't appear, you cannot get mad. You feel me? So yeah, it's all on you at the end of the day. So carried out in the proper fashion, and that's exactly how the spiritual and cellular will operates. You say on the physical will, the will has to be signed off by somebody like a judge. Your spiritual will works the same way. Your higher power or energy signs off on your agreements and wishes of your will, and you can also write what they call a holographic will, like the writings on the wall in Egypt, indicating you have full control of your will and don't need a medium. So by saying that, I'm basically saying like, okay, everybody has wills, and okay, let's speak of a paper will, right? If you're gonna write a will out, why would you use the government as a medium? I mean, regardless, most likely you're gonna have to go through them. But what I'm saying is like you don't have to use them as a complete medium, because they're gonna set you up with paperwork, and it's basically gonna tell you how to orchestrate your will, you know, and basically they're making it to where they have to be a medium to how your will is carried out or whatever. But it got something just like in Egypt on the walls. We used to call it commit back in the day. It has hieroglyphics, and only the person who wrote it can actually read it and carry it out, because it's their DNA. And when I say the person, not the actual one person that wrote it, but his bloodline, the person the people who understand that, who carries out that sound, that hidden message, that art that they orchestrate. So when you make your will, your holographic will, you make the rules of your will and how it's carried out. You write it straight out, up and down, and it's not nobody telling you, okay, by this X, put that. By this X, that. This how you do it. You only put this certain stuff in your will, blah blah blah. Okay, so don't go for that. Don't go for that. But yeah, continuing, it says. On the will, you will request things such as how to distribute your property and leaving trust funds, and also guardians for your kids, and maybe even who should bury you. Well, your spiritual will works the same way. You mentally choose how to move your mental property. You mentally choose, okay, so like on the physical aspect, all right, let's talk about you sitting in the house or whatever, you own it, blah blah blah, you die, that's your property, your physical property. But how did you manifest that physical property? You had to manifest that within your mind, within your attention. So your mental property had to been orchestrated or moved into existence for your physical property to happen. So basically that's how the will is working. It's basically saying you choose how to move your mental property. You create business with others or trust funds by choosing who you trust with your funds, and also you create other relationships with people you trust to take on the role as their parent. Will you will your parent? It says some of them will have things such as godmothers, which will mean the physical god that was the medium for you raising your kids. So you know how you die, you know, you're a parent, you know, you trying to find somebody fit to carry on taking care of your kids, so you choose a godmother or something like that, or a godfather or something like that. Nobody really sat down and thought about that, like, why do they call them godmothers and godfathers and stuff like that? I know a person still could be living and still have a godfathers, but they're basically being a medium and carrying out standards and stuff that you expect your kids to have, that you would teach them before you died or when you're not around. So people take that into a shallow thing, but when actually it's a spiritual thing. Choosing relationships and trust funds and stuff like that, who you trust to carry on your money, your mental property, your physical property, stuff like that, you know. Okay, it says you also can have a witness sign it. Now, what is the witness in the spiritual sense? Say that will be your conscience, your Akasha records, which records your consciousness will. Your will also coincides with sound. They also call it a sound instrument legally executed by which a person makes deposition of his or her estate after death. So basically, like, you know, like you got a will, like it's carried on through every lifetime. Like it's actually recorded in your DNA and your consciousness and stuff like that, because it's like you die, you actually lose all the knowledge and stuff that you had, but it's still buried deep inside you, but you have to rediscover that and unlock it. So basically I'm saying your mind, your consciousness is called the Akasha records. Your kundalini, your DNA, it holds everything. Basically, your lifetime, everything you've been through, who your past relationships, your past everything. So if you meditate deep with Asai, you unlock those records and start to see, okay, I remember you from my last lifetime. I remember being with you. I used to be my wife. Used to be my homeboy. Oh, okay. I remember you was always my mother. Stuff like that, basically. So what I was saying, okay, it say they also call it a sound instrument. It coincides with sound. It's an instrument legally executed by which a person makes deposition of his or her estate after death. So it's like a voice for you, like I say, a medium, a voice for you. Everything is sound regardless. So it's like it's a voice for you, it's a spiritual voice for you that speak. Basically a sound deposition, a paper, physical deposition of your spiritual language or symbolism which you speak with your mouth. So it's your will is your power to control your emotions and actions. Basically, it said it deals with determination and one's authority and power. Wonder why people always say what they will do, because that's the first step, setting the intention, then carrying it out. So like I was saying last time, you got the cellular version, which is an actual will, which is WHEEL. Then you got the English word or whether the etymology springs from it actually saying like a will, something that will happen in future tense. But in order for a future tense to be carried out, you have to set that intention. So basically, I'm saying, say a person be like, oh, yeah, I do it in a sec. I will go to the store, stuff like that. That's the transportation right there. You said I will. So basically you have to stick by your words as well. Like, you have to be one with your words, because it's like you said you will do something, and if you don't carry it out, you're not carrying out your will that you created with your mind. So in order for your will to move, it needs attention. In order for the car to move, you have to crack the ignition and give it gas so it can move. And currently it has to have a brain behind it. So basically that's how your will works. It's saying, so basically, yeah, that includes Wills Part 2. Tune in every Wednesday for the Scales of Balance Self-Realization session. I am Anubis. You can follow us on Scales of Balance. You can follow us on youtube.com/Scales of Balance. You can follow us on Instagram, Scales of Balance. Thank you very much for your time.